A world remade. Who truly won? World War II, a global conflict of unprecedented scale and devastation, millions dead, continents shattered. But amidst the ruins, a question lingers: who really won? The answer, as with most of history, is far from simple. The easy answer: victory and defeat. The history books tell a clear story. The Allies, led by the United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, triumphed over the Axis powers of Germany, Japan, and Italy. Victory parades marched. Treaties were signed. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief. But was this victory absolute? Did it come without cost? And did every victor emerge truly stronger from the ashes of war? To understand the complexities, we must look beyond the battlefields. The price of freedom, sacrifice on all sides. The echoes of war reverberate through time, a stark reminder of the cost of conflict. Every nation involved, victor and vanquished alike, bore the scars of war. The devastation was not limited to the battlefields, it seeped into the very fabric of society, altering lives forever. From the beaches of Normandy to the frozen Eastern Front, millions of soldiers and civilians perished. Families torn apart, cities reduced to rubble. The Normandy invasion marked a turning point, but it came at a tremendous cost. The Eastern Front, a theater of relentless brutality, witnessed some of the most harrowing battles in history. The human cost of conflict, immeasurable and profound. Grief and loss became a common thread, weaving through the lives of countless individuals. Refugees, displaced from their homes, wandered in search of safety and solace. The United States, despite its geographical distance from the fighting, lost over 400,000 souls. Each life lost represented a story, a family left to mourn. The military cemeteries stand as solemn testaments to their sacrifice. Great Britain, under constant threat of invasion, endured years of rationing and bombing raids. The Blitz brought the war to the doorsteps of civilians, testing their resilience and spirit. Rationing became a way of life, a daily reminder of the ongoing struggle. And the Soviet Union, bearing the brunt of Nazi aggression, suffered casualties exceeding 20 million. The Battle of Stalingrad, a pivotal and grueling confrontation, epitomized the Soviet resolve and the staggering human cost. Families mourned the loss of loved ones, their grief etched into the annals of history. A new world order, politics in the aftermath. The war's end brought a redrawing of the geopolitical map. The United States, its economy booming and its military might unmatched, emerged as a global superpower. The Soviet Union, though victorious, was battered and suspicious, its ideology increasingly at odds with the West. The seeds of the Cold War were sown. Europe, divided by the Iron Curtain, became the battleground for this ideological struggle. Former empires crumbled, giving rise to new nations and new conflicts. Booms and busts, the economic landscape. The war's impact on the global economy was profound and uneven. The United States, fueled by wartime production, experienced an economic boom. Its industries, unscathed by the fighting, were poised to dominate the post-war world. Europe, however, faced a long and arduous road to recovery. Cities lay in ruins. Industries were shattered. The Marshall Plan, a massive aid program funded by the United States, provided a lifeline, helping to rebuild war-torn nations and foster economic growth. Cultural echoes, from music to morality. Music, often seen as a universal language, played a crucial role during World War II. It was not just a source of entertainment, but a beacon of hope and resilience. Musicians performed in bomb shelters, on battlefields, and in POW camps, providing solace to those enduring the horrors of war. Beyond politics and economics, the war left an indelible mark on global culture. Cities were reduced to rubble, yet the human spirit remained unbroken. Cultural landmarks, though scarred, stood as testaments to resilience. Newspapers chronicled not just the battles, but the cultural shifts that were taking place. The horrors of the Holocaust forced a reckoning with humanity's capacity for evil. The sheer scale of the atrocities committed led to a global outcry and a deep introspection about morality and human rights. Survivors' stories became powerful narratives that shaped post-war consciousness and education. The wartime experiences of millions, from soldiers on the front lines to families on the home front, found expression in literature, film, and music. Letters from the front lines filled with raw emotion inspired novels and films that captured the essence of the human experience during the war. Musicians, too, channeled their experiences into compositions that resonated with the collective memory of the era. The war also accelerated social change. The end of the conflict brought about a renewed sense of community and a desire to rebuild. Social gatherings became a way to reconnect and heal. Urban life, though forever changed, began to thrive once more as people sought to create a better future. Women, who had filled vital roles in factories and shipyards, challenged traditional gender norms. Their contributions were indispensable, and their newfound independence and skills led to a re-evaluation of women's roles in society. The war had proven that women were capable of much more than previously acknowledged. Civil rights movements gained momentum, fueled by the sacrifices of minority soldiers who had fought for freedom abroad. These soldiers returned home with a renewed determination to fight for their own rights. Their bravery and service became a catalyst for change, inspiring movements that sought to dismantle systemic racism and inequality. The long shadow of war, a legacy of change. The Second World War, despite its conclusion over 75 years ago, continues to cast a long shadow. Its legacies are all around us, from the institutions of international cooperation established in its wake to the ongoing debates about war and peace, justice and reconciliation. The war reminds us of the fragility of peace and the importance of diplomacy. It compels us to confront the dark chapters of human history and to strive for a more just and equitable world. Beyond the history books, a call to question. History is often written by the victors, but what if we look beyond the pages of these old tomes? What if we question the narratives we've been told? So, who truly won World War II? Was it the soldiers who fought bravely on the front lines, or the nations that emerged stronger and more united? Or perhaps the real victors were the ideals of freedom and democracy that were upheld? The answer is complex and multifaceted. It involves not just the military strategies and battles, but also the political maneuvers, the economic shifts, and the social changes that followed. There were victors and vanquished, heroes and villains, leaders who made monumental decisions, and soldiers who carried out those orders. Each played a role in shaping the outcome of the war, but perhaps the more important question is this: what lessons can we learn from this cataclysmic conflict? How can we honor the sacrifices made, while ensuring that such a tragedy never happens again? As we grapple with the challenges of the 21st century, it is imperative that we remember the past, not to glorify it, but to learn from it. Our modern world is shaped by the events of the past, and understanding these events can guide us in making better decisions for the future, to understand the forces that led to war and to work tirelessly to prevent its recurrence. By studying the causes and consequences of World War II, we can identify the warning signs of conflict and work towards a more peaceful and just world. It is a call to question, to reflect, and to act.